Hey, today we're going to be talking about the closest towns and neighborhoods around Crane Naval Depot, or as you might know it, NSWC Crane, located in southern Indiana. You might be moving here from Virginia Beach or San Diego, and this is going to be a little bit of a culture shock for you. But Crane Naval Depot is located in southwestern Indiana and not too far from some big cities. Today I'm going to talk about all the little towns that surround Crane and where you might want to live if you are moving here to relocate. So my name is Wendy Kohlmeyer. I specialize in helping people relocate, so please reach out to me and I will help you out. I will put all my contact info below. So Crane Naval Depot is located in southern Indiana, like I said before, and it's kind of out there. It's on hundreds of acres out there, and it's in a very rural spot in Indiana. So there are some small towns around it, but you're gonna have to drive a little bit if you want more amenities and things to do. So let's first talk about the small towns. So the first area to consider, and it's about 15 to 20 minutes away from Crane, is Bloomfield, Indiana. And I have done another whole video on Bloomfield, so if you want more in-depth information than what I'm going to give you today, you definitely want to check out that video. So Bloomfield has a population of about 2,300 people, and it's typical small town in Indiana. Not much is going on in Bloomfield. So there's a lot of, like in the main square or whatever, there's a lot of vacancy there and shops that are closed. You know, there's just not a whole lot going on. They do have a grocery store there, and one or two restaurants, so there is that, but that's close. Now, the one thing that there is Newberry, Indiana, and that is a really small town. I don't know how many people are there, but not very many. But it is about 5 minutes away from Crane's Gate, and there is a whole new development there going on where you can purchase a paired housing unit. And if you want a definition on paired housing, that's the 21st century term for duplex. So anyway, there is a builder that has built some paired housing in Newberry, and it's a whole community there. So the housing starts at about $225,000 and goes up from there. But you can buy a townhouse there with everything new, luxury vinyl plank flooring, stainless steel appliances, granite countertops, a garage, you know, the whole bit for, let's say, average of $250,000. So that's something to consider. That is just, 15 minutes from Bloomfield. So another town that is pretty close but very small is called Odin, Indiana, and it is right in the middle of Amish country. So there is a lot of Amish places to eat down around this area. So you definitely want to check that out if you like good old home cooking, for lack of a better term. But they have Amish bakeries and things like that. There's one place in particular that's not far from Odin called the Dutchman's Diner. So you definitely want to look into that. But as far as other things to do, it's an Amish community, and you're going to have more of a rural lifestyle in Odin. And there's going to be rental homes and farmhouses, of course, because it's very close to an Amish community. So there is that, and that is about 15 to 20 minutes away from Crane. The next town is Loogotee, Indiana, and that's spelled, it's Loogootee. So it's more like, I always thought it was Loogooty, but it's Loogotee. And that town has about 2,600 people in it. Now, it's a little further, it's 20 to 25 minutes away from Crane, but you might want to consider that if you don't want to be too far from work and you can handle a smaller community. Relocating has affordable homes and rentals and is just a little bit more than some of the smaller towns like Odin and Newberry that I was talking about earlier. Then we have Shoals, Indiana, and that is a population of about 700 people. So the thing about Shoals is it's about 25 minutes from Crane, but it has a lot of nature, so hiking and things like that. It also has this natural wonder called the Jug Table Rock, and it is something that you need to see because it's so mysterious. There's just nothing like it in southern Indiana, so you definitely want to check that out. And also Shoals is a historic town, so there's some little shops and restaurants there, but there's not going to be too much in the way of entertainment. So those are just some small towns that you might want to keep in mind if you are thinking about moving here to work for Crane. So, and if you like this video so far, please like and subscribe right now, and please reach out to me if you're thinking about moving here. So then we're gonna get into some bigger towns that might be a better fit for some of you. So there's Bedford, Indiana, and Bedford is 30 minutes from Crane. It is a hot spot for a lot of people working from Crane because it's a bigger town. I have several videos on Bedford that you can see a little bit about the town. There's a lot of historic houses there. It's county seat for Lawrence County. So there's things going on there. There's a Lowe's and a Starbucks and some of the other restaurants and things to do in Bedford. Bedford has a population of just over 14,000, and it has a hospital there. And I mentioned historic homes, but it's also got new builds. So there's more going on in Bedford than some of the other smaller towns. There's also Washington, Indiana. It's a little bit further out. It's 35 to 40 minutes from Crane. It has very convenient access to Highway 50. Washington has a population of 12,000, but it's a larger town with more amenities. Now, they also do a lot of community activities and festivals, so that is something to look forward to if you like Washington, Indiana. And just south of Bedford is Mitchell, Indiana. It has a population of about 4,000. Again, there's historic homes as well as affordable homes in Mitchell. It's very close to Spring Mill State Park, and that is a historic state park. You definitely want to check that out if you're going to be in Mitchell, but Mitchell's just not far from Bedford. So if you go a little bit further, you're going to get more affordable housing than in Bedford, a little bit longer of a commute, but you can see everything that Mitchell has to offer. Then about 40 minutes to Crane is Spencer, Indiana, and I've done a small town video on Spencer. You just need to go to my video section on YouTube and look up these small towns. So there's a whole playlist that I'll link to, and you can check out all the different towns that I've talked about in this video, and it will go more in depth to see if it's something that you're gonna like before you get here and you don't like where you're living. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. Now for the larger cities, we have Bloomington. And Bloomington is about 45 minutes from Crane. It is a college town. So the population is around 85,000, but 40,000 of that 85 is college students. So you need to know that the town is lit up all the time, and they're all about the Indiana Hoosiers. So you need to get in sync with the Indiana Hoosiers if you're going to live in Bloomington. People love it and love the football and basketball teams, the soccer. There's just a lot of sports related things to do, but there's also just tons of things to do because Indiana University brings nice productions to IU. We have museums and just all kinds of things. If you're interested in music, they have all kinds of recitals and they bring in Broadway shows, and IU really does the community right by bringing in all those things that you would have to normally go to a big city for. Now, the housing cost in Bloomington is going to be higher because of IU. But a lot of people really love living in Bloomington because there's always something to do. We have festivals here galore in the spring, summer, fall. And we're located right by Hoosier National Forest, which is 15 minutes away, and Lake Monroe, again 15 minutes away, depending on where you go, east or west side. And Lake Monroe is Indiana's largest lake, so it offers all the water sports that you can think of. There's a couple marinas down there that have restaurants and boat rental, jet ski rental, paddleboard rental, all of the things. So Bloomington has a lot going on. There's also Lake Lemon, which is a little bit north of Bloomington. A lot of things to do there. And you definitely want to think about Bloomington if you like a young vibe and want to participate in that. We have lots of stores, and again, I have walking tours and all kinds of things about the downtown and just all the vibrant life in Bloomington. Now, the other bigger town, which is south of Bloomington and south of Crane, is Jasper, Indiana, and that is a town of about 17,000 people with a complete German heritage, and it's got a lot of Amish people down there, Mennonites, all with that German background, so there's all kinds of festivals with that German flair to it. So if you like that and you don't mind a town that's not too small and not too big, like I said, about an hour to Crane, so you do want to keep that in mind. But if you want more of a smaller, rural, laid-back community, you might check out Jasper. Oh, I've given you a lot of towns to consider if you're moving to Crane. So the big thing that you want to start thinking about is you want to decide how far you're willing to drive and then start eliminating some of these towns. Now, we go to all these towns to help you find housing. Also want to think about whether you want to live a quiet rural lifestyle or you want a vibrant town and city. So that's something to really think about, and think about all the amenities that the towns and cities have to offer. Are you looking for an affordable starter home or family-friendly neighborhoods? Or do you want land? So all these places have that and need to be considered if you're looking for that. You also want to think about schools and amenities, what's going to fit your family. Do your due diligence on the schools. You want to go to niche.com, niche.com, and start researching the school systems in these different towns if you have kids and want to know about the schools. Also, healthcare. You definitely want to check how far it is. A lot of these towns do have hospitals and things like that, the bigger towns, but the smaller ones aren't going to. So how important is it to you to have access to speedy healthcare? I would encourage you, if you are coming to Crane, you're going to be making a couple trips before you actually move here, but I would encourage you to go to those towns and get a feel for them. And then if you want to look at houses, contact me and I will be glad to help you out. And if you have questions about the area, please email me and I will give you all the info I can and direct you to whatever videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if I can assist you in any way, please let me know.